Hi children, I hope you're all well and have had a great week. It's Friday, so it's our last day of home learning before the weekend, and then we've only got next week and then we're all back at school, so that's something to look forward to. So we're going to do some shape, space and measure work today, and we're moving on to the shape part now. So we've already had a look at our 2D shapes, which we're going to recap on now, and then today we're going to start moving on to learning about 3D shapes. So I'm going to show you some of our 2D shapes now, and I want to see if you can remember the names of them. And we did do this before Christmas, if you can remember. Right, okay, so here we go. They're going to fly up, see if you can remember the name. This is a square. Well done. This is a rectangle. Well done. This is a triangle. Well done. This is a circle. Good. You know what this one's called? This is an oval. Well done. And we've got one more. Can you remember the name of this one? This is a pentagon. Pentagons have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sides to them. And if we remember, the top looks a little bit like a pen, and that's how I remember it's called a pentagon. Well done, everybody. So these shapes are called 2D shapes. We group them all together. They've all got their own names, but all together, they're called 2D shapes. So just like in our class, we've all got our own names, but together we are reception. So just like that, these are called 2D shapes. And the word 2D means two-dimensional, which means flat. They are flat shapes. If you were to hold one up, it would be flat. We can see over here, 2D shapes are flat. And today we're going to start learning about 3D shapes, which means three-dimensional. And that means that they are fat. 3D shapes are fat. So 2D shapes are flat and 3D shapes are fat. So let's do that one more time. 2D shapes are flat. 3D shapes are fat. Well done. That means that they kind of, if you were to hold them, you would be able to kind of hold it properly. It wouldn't be kind of a flat down. And when we're back at school, we'll have a look at, we've got 3D shapes in our classroom, so we'll have a look at the difference a little bit more. So these are some of the 3D shapes, and these are the ones we're going to focus on today. So just having a look at them, do you know the names of any of those shapes? Do you recognize any of those shapes? It's hard to look at them on pictures of them because they still look flat, but they are flat. Hopefully you can see that a little bit. So let's go over their names. This first one over here, this is called a cube. Can you say that? Cube. Well done. This one over here is called a sphere. Can you say that? Sphere. Well done. This here is called a cylinder. Can you say that? Cylinder. Well done. Over here we've got a cone. Well done if you said cone. If you turn it upside down, it looks like an ice cream cone. That's how I always remember it. A cone, or we've got cones in our outdoor area, haven't we, that we can use. Then this one is called a cuboid. Can you say that? Cuboid. So over here we've got a cube, and over here we've got a cuboid. And I always remember a cuboid as it looks like a cube that is stretched. So that's why it's got a longer name than a cube. Cuboid. It goes on for longer. So cube and cuboid. And then over here we've got a pyramid. Can you say that? Pyramid. Well done. Okay. Now, don't worry too much about the names. We're going to go over these for a few weeks, so you're going to be able to kind of hopefully pick up the names. I'm going to show you some examples of some of the 3D shapes in real life. I've been hunting around my house, and it was actually a lot harder than I thought. And you're going to have a go at this a bit later on, so hopefully you don't find it as tricky as I did. We're going to go over the shapes again, and I'm going to show you a real life example of that shape, because 3D shapes are in real life. We have got 2D shapes in real life. If you have a look at my wallpaper, I've got some rectangles and some squares on my wallpaper. So we do have 2D shapes in real life, but lots of things that we handle and use will be made up of 3D shapes. So let's have a look. So starting with the cube, I've got a box here. So this is a cube. Oh, that glitter's falling out of it. This is a cube. And I found a box that's in a cube shape. There's my cube. Cuboid. Remember we said a cuboid is like a stretched version of the cube. So I found something a little bit different. This is my camera case. So you can see it's got the flat sides here and then it's got the long sides over here. This is the cuboid. And it doesn't matter how big they are. If this was this big, it would still be a cuboid, but there's certain things that make the cuboid a cuboid. It's got long faces on the top, and then it's got the square faces on the side, rectangle faces up here, and square faces down here. This is a face. These are faces. All 3D shapes have faces, but don't worry too much about that. We're going to cover that a bit later on in the year. So this is my cuboid. So we've got cube and cuboid. Next, I've got my sphere. Sphere's an easy one. We've got a ball. Another one of my dog's toys. You know, I love my dog toys. So I've got sphere. Can you say that? Sphere. Well done. Next, I've got a cylinder. Can you say that? Cylinder. And I've got a spray can here. Those are in the shape of cylinders. And also you could have tins, tin cans. Those are in the shape of cylinders. There's lots of things that actually are in the shape of cylinders. I've got that there. And I've got, you just take this off, I've got a cone now. If I move it back a bit, you can see a cone. And this actually is a biscuit tin that has a penguin head on the top. But I've just taken that off to make it more look like a cone. Cone's got a circle face at the bottom and it comes up to a point. So we've got a cone. And then, children, I couldn't find any pyramid shapes in my house, but I found some pictures to show you. So I'll just show you those now. Hang on, bear with me. Here we go. Right, so these are some. So if you know anything about Egypt, you might have been to Egypt, or you might know somebody that's been to Egypt. In Egypt, they've got very famous pyramids, and these were built a very long time ago. And I think they do Egyptians in year 3, I think. So if you've got any brothers and sisters that have been in year 3 in our school, we learned about Egyptians then. So you might know about the pyramids. So these are the pyramids here. Now, obviously, you're not going to have one of those in your house, but you might have a picture of one. We also had the Louvre, which we looked at when we did our pilgrimage. It's a museum. That's in Paris. That's another example of a pyramid. Again, you won't have one in your house, but you might have a picture. This house, isn't that unusual? Unusual shape. You might have a tent in the shape of a pyramid. Or you might have one of these. I know someone in our class has got one of these. A Rubik's Cube in the shape of a pyramid. So you might have one of those. And if we have a look at this picture, this gives us some more ideas. So this is looks like a little church in a pyramid shape. This is a bit like this goes when you play music. You have one of these. So I don't know what it's called. I'm sure Mrs. Boyle will know the name of that. But that's in a pyramid shape. We've got the pyramids here. This building's in the shape of a pyramid. This is a type of weight that's in a pyramid shape, and a tent as well. So those are all in a pyramid shape as well. And the difference between a pyramid and a cone, even though they look really similar, is a pyramid has a square face at the bottom and a cone has a circle face at the bottom. So that's the difference. And again, as I said, when we're back at school, we'll be able to explore these a little bit more. But what I want you to do today is just like I've done. I want you to have a hunt around your house or around your garden, and I want you to see if you can find anything that's in the shape of any of these 3D shapes. Now, there'll be some that are easier than others. I think it's really easy to find things in the shape of a cube because you could have a box. Dice are in the shape of cubes. Spheres are really easy as well because all sorts of balls and things like that. You can get paperweights that are in a nice sphere shape as well. And I think cylinders are also really easy as well because lots of cans and tins and things that are in the shape of cylinders. So some are easy. You might be like me, you might not find one for one of the shapes, and that's absolutely fine. There's a little sheet that I'm going to upload. And again, if you can't print, then don't worry, you don't need to print it. You can just have a look at it and then make your own. But I've got a picture of the shapes here. So we've got cube, cone, cylinder, cuboid, pyramid, and sphere. And next to the shapes in the box, I want you to either write what you found, or you can draw a picture, or you can do both. And if you find more than one thing for that shape, then you can do two things in it. That's absolutely fine. And as I said, you might not find every single thing. So don't worry, if you can't find something, then just leave it blank. Or if you can think of something that you haven't got in your house, but you know you've seen before, then you could always use that as well. If you haven't got if you can't print the sheet, then that's absolutely fine. As I said, you can either make your own sheet, or you could just take some photos with the things that you have found. Okay, so basically you're going to go on a shape hunt. You're going to see what real life 3D shapes you can find in your house. And you can re-watch this again if you want to just practice over the names and stuff, and hopefully grown-ups can help you with the different names. But don't worry too much about remembering the names, because we are going to cover it lots and lots. But hopefully you've remembered at least one. Okay, and don't forget to upload this work so I can see it, because I am looking forward to seeing what you come up with. All right then, bye everyone.